So let's talk about a example of a case study that we should be considering for product retail. When it comes to product retail, if you have an existing product retail business, I always tell people to go to brand 24. That's BRAND 24.com. It's a great resource for you to start tracking mentions. If it's a particular topic area, like let's say it's skincare, you can see who the influencers are on that keyword. You could see who was writing articles about that particular keyword, who in your industry is killing it, who's doing an amazing job. You get to assess your competitors and you get to also create a framework of what kind of content people are responding to. You get to measure sentiment. So, oftentimes when we're working with clients, we want to know what the feeling is out there. We had an opportunity to work on a project for anti-skin lightening campaign, and in that campaign, we wanted to know how people felt about skin lightening. So we put that in as one of the keyword topics that we would be tracking on Brand 24, and tons of information came up. We were able to measure sentiment, whether people thought it was positive or negative. We were also able to see who were the influencers talking about that particular topic. We wanted to know what social media was being posted, the type of content that was being posted, before and after pictures. We looked at news publications who were writing on that particular article. And there are tons of opportunity for you to assess what is being discussed on a particular topic with Brand 24. So using Brand 24 is a great sounding board, a great assessment to see what people are talking about on a particular topic. We took that information and looked at what was really resonating in the social media, right? So when we looked at the feedback on the social media, we wanted to assess from the social media people who were posting some of the sites and the accounts that had really good traction, really good followers, what type of content, what was the imagery like, what were the highest likes. You could track all that information in Brand 24. You can also use another tool. It's Planimal, it's Sprout Social, Hootsuite. A lot of people know these social media tools. But for right now, I want you to understand that Brand 24 is the assessment of all forms of communications that's happening on the web on a particular topic. So it enables you to see who's writing and then reach out to them and create some kind of influencer promotion. The other thing you could do if you're a product or retail is some in-store activations are great. If you have your product in a store or you want to get your product in the store, do an in-store activation, partner with a local retailer that has your product, push the information on social media, tell them we're giving free hand facials or we're giving a free lash installments for the first 50 people or the first 10 people, drive traffic to their retail event, and then get them to come out, interact, maybe have some champagne, some strawberries, have them do product samplings, drive traffic to the retail. You're going to get a lot of sales, trust me. So I always like to tell people to really optimize some of the in-store festival, the outdoor festivals that go on during the summertime, and sometimes at in-store events when you have the conferences. I find that people are ready to spend money. So if you have people are excited about all the energy that's happening. If you have a great product and you want to showcase it at a festival, like there are what we call small batch distilleries in this area. And a lot of times at some of the outdoor festivals, you might see a small batch distillery giving you tastings. And I end up buying stuff all the time. And I know there was a line of stuff. The stuff wasn't that great, but they have great energy. But we know your product is going to be amazing. So we want you to use these festivals as opportunity to get a booth. Make sure you have put your kids to work, have them circulating flyers, grandkids to work, circulating flyers, get your interns to tell them to come, have somebody who's lively and fun working the booth that day and close some sales. The other thing is if you are a professional services organization, find out what organizations or industry, nonprofits or associations is it for your industry. So me, I'm a marketing person. So an organization like National Association of Marketers or National Association of Direct Marketers is an association group that I might be a member of. You can always, in many instances, purchase their mail list. So you can purchase the mailing list for some of these associations, and they're your target audience. So if you are interested in your HR company and you are interested in getting more HR business, go to some of these conferences, do some networking, offer yourself to be a sub of theirs if they're a huge network, if they're a huge HR company. So there are tons of things that you can do at some of these events and these festivals. And it makes sure you become a great storyteller. Make sure you create content that tells your story, tells your product story, see people interacting with your product. I'm amazed at how many people I see have products and they never show the customer interacting with the products. Make sure that you're showing your customer interacting with their product. Make sure you're doing the product samples. Make sure you're at all the festivals. Make sure you're doing the in-store activations. Make sure you're working in social media, and make sure that you have this stuff organized. So even if you're going to only post once a week, that you post once a week. Again, focus on the consistency, not necessarily the frequency. You got to do it all the time, but just being consistent with when you do post. Now, I think this is a great opportunity. So I'm excited to see what you're going to put together in those growth plans when it comes to if you have a product or retail business, how are you going to frame out your marketing plan using some of the information I just gave?